Hey everyone, welcome to another segment of writing tips from a genre specialist to part two. Just talking today about grammar mistakes and writing mistakes, spelling mistakes. When I was on X, I follow a bunch of readers, and one actually had a post with a poll in it, and it stated, when it came, fellow readers, when you come across a grammar or spelling mistake, how many of you DNF the book? And any of you who don't understand what DNF means, it means did not finish. Now, a whopping 8,000 people took part in this poll. And basically, the results of this poll was 80% of people who find a grammar or spelling mistake, they do not finish the book no matter where they are in it. As soon as they come across it, they shut the book and they put it away. And a lot of our authors need to understand that people who read books don't necessarily write them. Some of them do, but not all of them. And because of this, they don't understand how easy it actually is to have a grammar mistake or a spelling mistake in your book, not catch it, and have a program that catches grammar or spelling mistakes not catch it as well. Because if you have the word there, where, and which, depending on the context, the program might not pick up those mistakes. There's also a lot of words that are very similar and actually are spelled differently. And depending on the context, the program might not pick it up as well. And a lot of readers don't even understand that. Because when I was reading the comments, a lot of readers were stating that they found it lazy if they find an issue in there. And the reason why I'm bringing this up in my videos is most people now are going in the route of indie publishing. And if I was a if I was a writer today, in this industry, I would definitely go with the route of indie publishing. It just seems a better route than going in the route of traditional publishing, because you get more freedom with your work, as well as you get more of the profit. And that level of freedom with your work just sounds amazing. And when I was writing, there I indie publishing wasn't where it was now. And if you wanted to be an indie publisher, you had to spend hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars to publish your work, which I wasn't wanting to do. So if I was writing now, which honestly I can't put a book down long enough to actually write, so that's why I don't write right now. I do enjoy writing, but I mean I can't put a book down long enough to actually do it, so that's why I review books. But in today's economy, in today's writing industry, in my opinion, because of the freedom you get with your book, indie publishing is preferred. But if you do go that route, what I would suggest is get an editor along with it, because it's very hard to actually catch your own mistakes. Because when you read it, I don't know what it is, but you get so excited about your work. I assume that's what it is, that you just breeze through a few mistakes. Like when I was writing, and I had people actually read my work and edit it and let me know about the mistakes. I was actually very surprised about the mistakes I actually was missing. And the way I used to do it is I'd write a chapter or two and then I'd have someone edit it. That way they're only editing a few thousand words rather than like 70 to 100,000 words, because if you give them this big huge massive thing to edit, they could miss stuff as well. Whereas if you give them small portions, they're more apt to actually pick stuff up. Another thing that I noticed that some indie authors do, because I've read a few indie books in my day, a lot of them, is what's called uneven prose. And what this is you write a story or a book, and you keep switching between past, present, and future tense. When if you do this correctly, it kind of allows the story to to flow smoothly. But if you're a beginning writer and you keep switching your tense, it can actually interrupt the flow of the story. And when I actually talk to other readers on X, what the books that actually have this, what they actually explain is that they didn't like the book, but they couldn't understand why they didn't like the book. They couldn't put their finger on it, but it just didn't flow right to them. And that's what this is. That's basically what they're talking about there. It's just the reader. They're not educated in writing, so they don't know that the proper term is uneven prose. So you got to watch out for that. You have to make sure that if you're a beginning writer, that you actually, if you're writing in present tense, try to stay in present tense. Or if you're writing in past tense, try to stay in past tense. You can do writing exercises where you do switch. I would suggest it because writing 100,000 words and just staying in one tense, it it can come across as old and tiring. So that's definitely recommended. Another writing exercise that I would actually suggest is just go out to a park, pick an object at random, and try to use a few paragraphs to explain that object. But try and do it in a way where when you read it, it amazes you. And the only way to do that is to write in a way where you're showing the person and not telling. Try not to come across that you're telling someone what something looks like. Try and come across more that you're showing them. It's very hard to do and it takes a lot of practice, but before you actually write a book, I would recommend in practicing and mastering that technique. So, all in all, to wrap this up, you want to make sure that you don't have a lot of spelling mistakes in your work or grammar mistakes, because when I've been talking to my followers on X, I find that there's a lot of people that do DNF books if they find those mistakes, and it's because they find it lazy, even though it's not lazy. It's very easy to have that kind of error and not catch it. Also, make sure you have even prose. You want to make sure that you're not flip-flopping back and forth between past and present tense, because it kind of ruins the flow of the book and causes the reader to DNF your book or did not finish. So hopefully that helps you authors out there, and any of you authors that are doing traditional publishing and you've been thinking about indie publishing, I would suggest trying at least one book, because the freedom actually is quite extraordinary. I know a lot of traditional authors do state that that they don't have respect for the industry, indie publishing, because they figure, how good is your writing if you have to pay someone else to publish it? I don't find that to be true at all. When I've been reading these works, some indie books are actually better than traditional publishing books. I used to think like that when I was a traditional publishing author, but when I gave the indie authors a shot, I actually did find that some indie authors are a lot better than traditional publishing authors, and they're not going that route because they don't have the skill to do traditional publishing. I find that most do have that skill. It's just they love the freedom. Anyway, hit like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.